Okay, so they're now ready to lift. So I'll move that out of the way. My tissue ready. So let's move that into position. It's a good idea to orientate it the same way as the submarine diagram would indicate. So we've got one at the back here, and so I get my what I do is I tend to put them really close. I check where there's a little nodule there, a little nodule there, so it's about it's about there. It's about there. So what I do is I get close to it, and I slide it off. Now it's not lifting perfectly, but that's okay. And I slide it off the piece of paper at the back. The reason being that sliding it off will help with the glue on the back of the paper of the decal. So it's about there. I think it goes down to about there. There's a line here all the way along here, so I'm going to use that as my guide. And then there's another one here, number 16. I'm going to put that further along here, so it's about there as far as I can see. And again, just lift carefully and use the paper to guide it and push it into the right position, lifting it and dropping it there like that. That's pretty good. Now if you find that it's in the wrong position and you want to move it, a good idea is to get more water on your brush and then just dab a little bit more water over the surface, and you'll find that it's much easier to move about. As you can see, I can move it about. Now I've noticed that's too far down, so I'm going to just push it further up because that's my guideline here. So I'm just pushing it further up. Now I've got it in the right position now. It's vertical. That other one is vertical. So I'm going to lift the water off. And the way I do that is I just get the water off my brush like that, and then lift it onto my brush and then dab it on there. Lift it onto my brush again, dab it on there, and you can see it's coming off now, the water. And I've been very careful not to touch the decal because I think it's in the right position now. Okay, there's one side. I'll try the other. Now another tip is obviously don't touch the decals from now on. You've got usually something sticky on your fingers that'll lift it straight off, so be very careful when you're touching your model not to touch the decals. So I'll do the same again on the other side. And these are drying already, so they might be struggling to be able to be lifted off, but that's all right, it seems to work. And as you can see, I've got the decals on the other side. What we'll do is I'll put a bit of water on here just to loosen it up, and then that looks about right, about there. There we go, it's moving now. And then we can slide it off. Like so. It's a little bit low, so I'm going to lift it a bit. Maybe I need a bit more water on it. There we go, it's lifting nicely. So just push it up into position using the brush. I always find a brush is really good because I'm used to using brushes for delicate operations, so it's a good device to use. As you see, I'm cleaning the water off because I'm happy with its position. Maybe it's a little bit closer over there. Let's move it over there. If you move them around too much, the glue behind them will be left behind, so you don't want that. Okay, and then this one here, slide this one off here like that. There we go. It's a little low, get a bit more water, lift it a bit, and it's off center now, it's not vertical, so I'm going to lift it and there. It's a good position there. Brilliant. Okay. So I'll just dry it like that. So whilst these are drying, you can always look and see whether they're lining up. You can see I haven't lined them up very well, so I'm going to have to remove that. This looks a bit off center, so we're going to have to just move those, shift those along in line with the others. Don't really want to touch it with my finger. I'm tempted to. Sometimes, if you're very careful, you can use your fingers, but it's not a good idea most of the time, because it will come off in your finger, and then you've got trouble. And that one's not lined up with that one, so put a little bit more water on it, move it along. It's quite a long way off. So there we go. Let's hope that the adhesive still works on the back of it. Oh, it's really off, isn't it? There we go. Just push it along. Even that one's off as well. Again, that might not stick very well considering how much I've had to move it. But you can see what I'm doing, all of this very careful movements. Gosh, I didn't realise how far out I was. Should have checked that earlier. It's pretty close now. There. That's quite good now. Just straighten them up. Oh dear, that one went wrong. Okay. There we go, that's better.